We are live. Happy New Year's, Lions fans. We have a big one tonight. The Minnesota Vikings in our building for not only the division, but the number one seed overall. Let's talk about it. All right, son. Before we get into the big game tonight, you and I were tied up this week and we didn't get to have our thoughts on the victory over the San Francisco 49ers. As you see, we'll kind of go through it quickly, son. I have the score on the screen. Our boys won 40-34. Before we just kind of look at some individual things, what were your overall thoughts on the win against the 49ers?
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good win. Bad offensive side or a bad defensive side. We kind of knew the defense was going to have a lot of struggles. I mean, everyone knows that we've been dealing with a lot of injuries. We've had no break since like week 5 or something like that. So overall, I thought it was a very good game. I mean, in reality, we just look like a college team out there for how many points that we can put up week in and week out. It's just been a thing for a while now that we can put up so many points. But yeah, it was a decent game overall. Terran Arnold, one of our boys, like Jevin was a Seahawks fan, made a very good point. I hope that Terran Arnold does not turn out to be like Tariq Woolen. Tariq Woolen ended up having like one good season, and then he just ended up being kind of cooked. I don't know why, if it was because he was too long and lanky or what, but Terran Arnold does make me a little bit nervous. Yeah, that's the only thing. That was really my only problem, the constant secondary pains that we have.
I would agree. We know that our boys are hurting up front in the front 7 or the front 6, depending on what kind of defense they're in. But absolutely, except for the safeties, Branch and Joseph, the cornerbacks to me had a rough game against the 49ers. Yes, you can put it on the pass rush, the lack of a pass rush. You know, there was not a lot of pressure on Brock Purdy, but the DBs did seem to struggle. I mean, those guys had a game. Let me just look at it. I mean, just real quick, son. 377 for Brock Purdy. He did throw those 2 picks, both to Kirby Joseph. But I mean, Pearsall, Kittle had 8 receptions. Jennings had 7. So it really did seem like they had their way with our secondary. What were your thoughts on our offense in that game?
Yeah, so I mean, there's no question the offense looks great. Jahmyr Gibbs pretty much, what's the word here? I don't know if the word would be premier back, but Jahmyr Gibbs proved that I can get y'all through some games. Like, you guys don't got to pick up no Ezekiel Elliott or anything like that. And I was really happy with Craig Reynolds and Jamar Jefferson and J-Mo. No, duh. Okay, yeah, that was that game. J-Mo was on that jet sweep for the touchdown. Yeah. So I thought the rushing attack was pretty well. I also thought we did pretty decent in the protecting Jared Goff in the pocket. If I'm not mistaken, I think we only gave up 1 sack. It was when he was trying to escape. I could be wrong, though. But, yeah, no, I thought the offense looked very well overall. The main thing I've been happy with is just how Jameson Williams and Jared Goff have been clicking. At first, in the beginning of the season, I was like, man, it seems like they are just forcing it to Jared Goff and not really giving it to Laporta as much. But now, we really just got to trust in Ben Johnson. And really, yeah, like I can't really ask for much more. Like, it's not normal for a team to put up that many points per game. But the Lions have made it normal. I mean, what are they having, like 28.8 points per game or something like that? It's something crazy. So.
Okay. All right. Good. Sorry about that. I was muted. We just want to get some quick thoughts on that 49ers game and let you all know what we thought about it. Let's move on to the big one tonight, son. 14-2 versus 14-2 at home against the Minnesota Vikings. As I mentioned in our intro, this is for everything. Not only is it for the North, but it's for the number 1 overall seed, which the Lions desperately need because of all of the injuries. Let's start with let's start with the defense. What does the defense have to do tonight to win this game?
Okay. Contain. Justin Jefferson. And do not let the running game go crazy. If the running game goes crazy, we actually legitimately might lose. I'm not even going to lie. Because is their running back Dalvin Cook, or they traded Dalvin Cook? It's someone else now.
No, they have Aaron Jones, who was with the Packers.
Okay. Aaron Jones is a good running back. I'm not gonna lie, yeah. If they start working this run game and they're able to get away with the run game, and then they start throwing over top to Justin Jefferson because we can't keep our safeties over top because we got to bring them down because they're running the ball over us, we're gonna get cooked. And Justin Jefferson's gonna have like 200 plus yards. But we were talking earlier, if they can do something like bracket him, double coverage him, run with him, Terrion Arnold, do whatever you got to do to get in this dude's face and to make them. I mean, pretty much I have a feeling we're gonna make them have to pass the ball anyways, but you got to try to limit the superstar. I guess that's obvious, but Sam Darnold is not really the guy that I'm worried about. I have a feeling the Vikings are more going to have schemed plays to get people open. That's really what I think is going to happen.
I would have to agree on that. What I think is, you and I were talking about this earlier, and I'll say it now. What I think that our defense has to do is our defense has to get at least 2 stops. After we saw what happened with the 49ers, I have to believe that Aaron Glenn was saving something for this game. We have to get at least 2 stops. We can't let the Vikings march up and down the field, getting touchdowns, getting field goals. We have to get 2 stops where they're forced to punt the ball, and I do believe our offense will come through for us. Let's talk about the front 7. And by the front 7, I mean, I know a lot of times we're in the nickel, so it's really a front 6. But let's talk about what does the D line and the linebackers have to do. Not to mention Alex Anzalone is back. What do they have to do to contain, not only help with the Vikings run game, but with their pass game?
Yeah, so really, I'm looking at our boy Muhammad. I'm looking at Zadarius Smith, and I'm looking at Jack Campbell. I'm not really going to mention Anzalone. I assume he'll be at 100% snaps. I honestly, I forgot what his injury was, to be honest. What was his injury?
Forearm. Broken forearm.
Yeah, like, so I'm saying, I don't know. I could see him breaking his forearm on a bad tackle. So honestly, I don't know. Like, I wonder if he is more like a 50-50 thing. But yeah, what I really expect out the front 7 is I need Jack Campbell to be all over the fields. I need Zadarius Smith. Bro, you don't have to get 3 sacks, but I am going to need about 5 like, we're going to need some pressures or something like that. We're going to need Muhammad plugging up those. He plays D tackle. We're going to need Muhammad plugging up those gaps, if I'm not mistaken. No offense to him. I'm sorry. Our line is getting a little sparse, so I don't know all our players. But I know Muhammad is back there quite a bit. So, yeah, really, I'm looking for Muhammad and Zadarius Smith. I'm mainly looking for Zadarius Smith on the pass rush, though.
I would say DJ Reader is going to be a big part of this game. I mean, plugging up that middle. I mean, he's going to have to get that center on one of those guards and start pushing them back in Donald's lap. And I agree with you 100%. We got to get something out of Zadarius Smith. Believe it or not, I didn't believe. One of my coworkers had to tell me this. He has 3 sacks in 6 games since he's been with us, but it doesn't feel like it. Maybe because in that game at the Bills that we were at, we didn't see any pressure at all on Josh Allen. And I was thinking, where's Zadarius Smith at? You know, that's one of the reasons we brought him in, was to get pressure, on the quarterback. Let's move to the secondary, son. You kind of touched on it a little earlier, but let's talk about the corners and the safeties. What do they have to do to contain this Vikings passing offense?
I mean, really, honestly, I feel like we're not actually asking for a crazy job here. It's kind of like what I was saying before. It doesn't matter if, I guess I'm kind of going to renege on what I'm saying a little bit. It doesn't really matter if Justin, I don't really care what his stats are, to be real. It don't matter if he has like 150 plus yards, to be real. As long as we can contain the Vikings and we don't let them get basically, if we don't let them get like 35 plus points, we'll be fine. If you let them get 35 plus points, that means the defense was abysmal anyways. So I'm going to say it again. We're not even asking you the secondary to really lock down for real. We're asking Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph to make sure nothing goes over top, which probably can happen. And we're asking Terrion Arnold to stay on top of Justin Jefferson the best he can without getting some passer interferences. That's what we're asking for. Bro, we know some people are going to pop off. That's not really the problem. We need you to contain this offense and keep them from gaining too much momentum, because we know the stadium is going to be rocking with Viking fans.
Let me ask you something. Did you like what Aaron Glenn did against the 49ers, where he was basically what he's done now is, because of the injuries, he's moved Branch back to the big nickel, and Melifonwu is playing safety back there with Joseph, but he was bringing Melifonwu on some of those blitzes. Did you like that against the 49ers?
Yeah, so I liked it because it seems like the Lions always have at least one safety that is not like a true safety. I mean, that is not afraid to pop. Rather, it was our boy. Oh, I forgot his name. Tracy Walker. Rather, it was Tracy Walker. Like, yeah, we've always had safeties that are not scared to hit. CJ Gardner Johnson. I mean, he's a little bit smaller, but yeah, yeah. No, I like it. I like it a lot because Kirby Joseph. I mean, it works. Like it's like what they did. I don't know if Melifanu was out there, but it's like how they baited Purdy into throwing that interception on that cover two invert where the two corners dropped straight back and Kirby Joseph just came up out of nowhere. So I like it when we let Kirby Joseph roam the field like solely. He's proven that he can do that, and it works because it quarterbacks end up getting baited into making stupid decisions.
Yes, I would agree with that. And I do believe the boys can do it. Let's go ahead and let's talk about the offense and the special teams. What is your thoughts on the offense? What does the offense need to do? We know that Brian Flores, the D coordinator for the Vikings, likes to blitz a lot. What does Ben Johnson have to cook up for our offense to put up 35 to 40 points to get this win?
Nothing special. Ben Johnson doesn't have to do anything different than what he's been doing. I mean, they were cute last week, which it worked out. He doesn't have to. When I say he doesn't have to be cute, I really like. It's fine to keep doing what he's doing, but I'm saying we don't gotta be hasty. Like the 49ers were trying to go right back at us. Remember, they were trying to do their own trick plays of their own, and it was just looked kind of sloppy and it wasn't working. Um, in reality, I think that we're just gonna keep doing what we've been doing. We're gonna give it to Gibbs. Gibbs is gonna cook y'all. We're gonna start giving it to Porta, and then unstoppably, we're gonna have JMO open for a deep bomb. And then we're gonna be up by 14. And it's honestly, I really think it's gonna be all up to the defense. There's not much to worry about with the offense. It's tough for me to see us not scoring 30 plus points. Yeah. So really, the offense just needs to make sure that Jared Goff doesn't get sacked constantly. We need Jahmyr Gibbs to be over 100 plus yards again, and I would like to see him in the reception game as well. And I really just want to see Laporta get the ball. I want to see him be fed. That's really all the offense needs to do. Yeah.
Okay, I'm right there with you on that. The one thing I will add in for the offense is that I think that a key is going to be Craig Reynolds. That's really what I think, just like he was last week. I believe that Gibbs is going to do his thing. I believe that Gibbs will be over. I could see him with another 110, 112 yards, probably another 35 to 40, 35 to 40 on receptions. I think that you're going to see all the receivers do their thing. Laporta do their thing. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw Robinson come in and get a catch or two. If you saw Tim Patrick, get something, I just wouldn't be surprised at all with what the offense would do. But I think that Craig Reynolds would be huge. I think that if Craig Reynolds, I believe he put this game in the bag. If Craig Reynolds can get us, I'm going to honestly say 35 or 40 yards. I know that might not sound like a lot to people, but that's a decent amount of yards in the NFL. What I'm saying is that when Gibbs need a breather, if he can come in and give us 3, 4, 5 yards of carry, get us a couple of first downs, I think that's going to cruise the Lions to this victory. Do you have any final thoughts on this game, son?
No, let's go Lions, baby. Let's go. Jared Goff. It's Jared Goff season. Should have been MVP. Dark horse MVP. Let's go. We're not playing.
Yeah, I agree. Well, Lions fans, there you have it. There's our thoughts on the games tonight. My prediction is, not being a Lions fan, this is just me being a football fan, I think that we will pull it out. I think that the Lions can win it between, I'm going to say 6 to 8 points. I think that if the defense does what we said, is with, just basically get us a couple of stops, we in there. All right, Lions fans. You see our YouTube on the bottom of the page where this video will be posted. If you haven't already, please give us a subscribe and give us a hit the notification so we can keep talking Lions football. As you see under my son's name right there, there's our TikTok. He does most of the videos over there. As you see under my name, that is our Twitter/X page. I do a lot of the tweeting or reposting, whatever you want to call it now, over there. And pretty much that's it. We will see you all tomorrow. Hopefully we're talking about a Lions victory when we do our recap video. Other than that, that's all we have. Peace.